This week, we're coming to you from the Northern Ag Expo at the Fargo Dome, the first post-harvest farm show in the Northern Plains. This is the 51st year for the Expo. The two-day event, put on by the North Dakota Agricultural Association, has about 100 exhibitors for its trade show and typically draws 3,000 to 4,000 people. It also features educational programs and seminars, such as the Grain Market Outlook and farm safety demonstrations. One of the notable speakers at the Northern Ag Expo was Mary Thomas Hart with the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. So Mary, what are some of the obstacles that cattlemen are currently facing?
There are a variety of obstacles. I think, every year is a little different, but I think certainly rising input costs have a huge impact on farmers and ranchers across the country. Also, regulatory burden. We see, increasing interest in regulation from agencies like the EPA.
So a big topic you discussed was greenhouse gas emissions reporting.
So earlier this year, we saw a proposed rule from the Securities and Exchange Commission to mandate greenhouse gas emissions reporting from publicly traded companies. Now, that proposed rule includes Scope 3, or supply chain emissions. So that means that any beef cattle producer whose final product is being sold by a publicly traded entity could be subject to greenhouse gas emissions reporting requirements. There's currently no accurate way to calculate and report greenhouse gas emissions, especially at an on-farm level. So this subjects farmers and ranchers potentially to a pretty burdensome and unachievable regulatory mandate.
So how did NCBA respond to their proposal?
NCBA and 10 other national ag associations filed some pretty substantive comments to the SEC. I think it was pretty clear with this proposal that they failed to consider the impact of this rule, this mandate, to agricultural producers, in part because agriculture has never been regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. And as far as a resolution, I think that we will expect to see a final rule from the SEC in the next 6 months. Less clarification on whether that final rule is going to include Scope 3 emissions. I think that they received a lot of pushback, and so there will be likely some scaling down of the Scope 3 reporting requirement.
Thanks for joining us today for some insight. Mary Thomas Hart, NCBA. Thanks for watching AgWeek TV on YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe. We put out new videos every Saturday.